How's it going, guys? Um, I'm slightly stressing the fuck out right now. Excuse me. Also, just kind of woke up a little bit ago. So last night I spent some time uh, trying to do something with my stream quality. Um, I didn't really have a lot of people watching my stream the first time that I actually started doing it, and let's be honest. I mean, most of us can probably agree that my first stream had a lot of blocky mess. And mostly that's due to because I got to learn a little bit more about NVIDIA's encoder and AMD's, what barriers kind of sit there between the two, which would be predominantly more effective as far as like streaming goes. I've ran into the realization that a lot of it comes down to the encoder, of course, getting new into streaming. Most of you guys that do know how to stream or already currently streaming, and if you are, subscribed to my channel and you do watch some of the stuff that I have with, the minimal amount of videos that I currently have right now. And referring back to me, starting my first stream, there's quite a bit of issues that I'm experiencing currently, and I've done a lot of research and deep dive into trying to completely resolve this issue, and it seems to have no end almost. And I said that because since with everything that I've done with my bit rate and, increasing my internet speeds, and to be fair, I'm not running on Wi-Fi. I've lost almost all faith in Wi-Fi as far as, for connectivity reasons, and of course, me trying to stream. There's a lot of issues known to happen with, lagging, your dropouts, your weird stutters. It all comes down to that sometimes. For the most part, a lot of people that I've been talking to recently about streaming, they don't run Wi-Fi anymore. They've kind of found themselves being a lot happier and seem to have more foolproof results with being connected to LAN, which is what I've been doing for a while now. And to be very honest, LAN has been the best experience that I've currently have dealt with, and I don't see a reason to go back to Wi-Fi. As far as at this point of what I'm experiencing, both with gaming performance and overall connectivity, I'm just, Wi-Fi is far behind me at this point that I'm not even considering it or even have thought about going back to Wi-Fi at all whatsoever. Even though my motherboard and my setup that I currently have, with all the money that I've invested, parts and etc., a lot of the updates that I've made along the way, it just doesn't seem viable for me at this point with everything that I'm running to have any reason or excuse to run Wi-Fi. So at this point, Wi-Fi again is far behind me, and I'm going to continue with LAN. So with that all being said, at this point, what I'm dealing with is a lot of issues thus far with as far as my overall quality. The one thing that I can say that I have experienced at this point with the changes that I've made, and to be fair, this is within, if we want to look back to the beginning of when I started streaming, it wasn't all that long ago. God, I'm not even paying attention to that time frame of when I did actually post that stream, with testing out my stasis PvP build for my Titan. It sucked. As far as the quality and the expectations that I had up front with what I had for settings originally, it did not please me at all. Last night I did several tests, and the awkward thing is a lot of the times that I saw either severe lag, blockiness, blurriness, or any sort of pixelation within certain areas on the image, and what I'm referring to is mostly like darker corners. Like for right now, currently, looking at my stream, as where I'm sitting at this point, there's really nothing for the encoder to really have to work hard enough to, output that resolution and detail at this moment. With me being at a standstill, I'm in the helm and I'm not really doing anything. So therefore, the encoder doesn't have to work as hard outputting anything with my bit rate. And that's honestly still kind of a shame. And the other thing that I'm also kind of aggravated with, that's really frustrating the living shit out of me, is also my webcam. My webcam is not shit. I promise you that. I'm running a Logitech StreamCam, and it's a 1080 at 60. It's what it's sitting at by default. Not by default, but at 30 FPS at 720 is where it's at. But it hits 1080 at 60, and that's what it's capable and has been able to, you know, obviously give me the quality that I obviously paid for by getting this webcam. You really can't see too much as far as what OBS is showing me based on, you know, my preview from my end. It's night and day difference from what I'm getting currently off of stream, and it's a shame. And I've left NVIDIA for various reasons as far as what I have experienced for performance and overall value. And me transitioning entirely from NVIDIA and Intel setups to now a full AMD, currently running the Ryzen 5950X. Those that are not familiar with AMD or Ryzen CPU processors, the 5950X is a 16-core CPU. So it's not a terrible CPU at all. It's actually a very good CPU. And that was one of the upgrades that I made for my 3900X. Not that there's anything wrong with my 39, but as far as the performance and optimization upgrades that you were looking at from the 39 to the 59, there is a difference. And that's why I made that change and made that upgrade from that part of the end where I just started looking at, you know, parts coming out, things that I could do along the way from upgrading from what I had originally with my setup currently. You know, I went from a 3900X from a 3900X, from a 2080 Ti, still running NVIDIA, mind you, at that point. Didn't really have any focus or interest in trying Radeon. And after when, you know, I saw AMD had, of course, you know, their own variants of GPUs, that's, you know, how I got interested in it in the beginning. And thus far at this point, that's why I have a Radeon card now. So currently what I'm running, again, 5950X GPU is a Radeon 6900 XT, but it is from Power Color, and it is the Red Devil Ultimate, so it is the overclock variant of the Red Devil. So the Power Color Red Devil Ultimate for the 6900 XT, there's really not much too much of a significant difference, but technically speaking, on, you know, paper, as far as, you know, performance and slight you know, advantages as far as performance goes, the Ultimate is obviously that could be subjective. A lot of people would find the overclock variants of most of these cards, whether it's AMD or NVIDIA, you take it how you leave it. As far as what you're willing to invest your money for, as far as what options you have, that's totally up to, of course, you know, the consumer or the user at that point. So, you know, each to their own. I went with the Ultimate, not just from okay, well, the Ultimate's obviously going to be better, like, because it says Ultimate. That doesn't really mean jack shit to me as far as what I've been putting my money into. I was more concerned about the differences between, you know, a 6900 XT directly from, you know, AMD versus, like, if we were to consider ROG or Sapphire, each to their own as far as who they go with. That's your choice and what you decide to spend your money and time in investing in. I just went with Power Color. Power Color had a lot of good reviews anyways in the past as far as, you know, their reputation goes. They've only done collaborations with AMD and worked with Radeon in the past. So they do have quite a bit of a reputation. So that's why I went with Power Color as far as, you know, going for a Radeon card. And I've been very happy and pleased with it. It's just discouraging now getting into streaming and I'm running into all these problems. And what I mean by that is I'm literally running into these issues where I'm having to consistently go back and forth with OBS and consistently fuck with all of these settings. Not that there's anything wrong with making adjustments, tuning most of your, hardware to output the, performance that you're looking to get, whether it's recording, gameplay, overall FPS, etc. I haven't had a problem with that. OBS hasn't really done anything as far as putting a strain on that for me in the recording department. Recording department, I can sit here all damn day with everything I'm running, which again, 5950X CPU, 6900 XT, Red Devil Ultimate. I'm also running the Crosshair Extreme from Asus. Well, ROG, it's the Crosshair Extreme, which if you're not familiar with that, it's an X570 platform architecture. The Crosshair Extreme that I have, well, not that I have, but, when you're getting the Crosshair Extreme versus the Formula or the Dark Hero, the Crosshair Extreme is top tier pinnacle of motherboards for the architecture platform for the CPU that I'm running currently, and it was a no-brainer because now I'm getting, night and day incredible performance difference. It's been a lot more of a reliable experience at this point, going from the Strix E Gaming X570 that I had originally, and now that I made the upgrade to the Crosshair Extreme, there's been an incredible difference. So, aside from all that, I'm also running 4 terabytes of the Samsung 980 Pros, Evo Pros. So obviously, processing power, as far as what we're considering data here in this equation, there's not even like over the horizon even a potential issue unless I'm literally like overloading everything with several other unnecessary shit that could, run me into encountering issues as far as, overall performance and experience with my gameplay, streaming, etc. So that's not even an issue. Not to mention I also have 64 gigabytes of RAM. So I don't really have at all, if any, a shitty ass setup with everything that I've invested in. So I'm not even running into these issues as far as performance go. My machine and all the parts that I have are beyond more capable of handling most of the stuff that I'm doing currently, especially for streaming. It's the encoder that's causing me the problem that I'm starting to realize and experience and learn along the way now with the time frame and window that I've had with as far as, getting involved in streaming. So I'm about, at this point, pulling all the hair off of my fucking head because it's driving me absolutely batshit and crazy because everything that I've done with OBS to get my streaming quality at where it's supposed to be, where I technically would expect it to be with my hardware. It almost doesn't even matter at this point because it comes down to the encoder. NVIDIA's encoder seems to be dominant. It seems to be because since like literally the clarity, the sharpness, the details, it's very deceiving because since when, like for me or anybody that's running a Radeon card that maybe or has any sort of interest in getting involved with the streaming off of that card, it's very deceiving and discouraging because since when you go online, you're having these issues, you're seeing this lag, you're seeing this blocking and blurriness shit that's going on, you've done all these fucking YouTube how-to video searches and you're getting several different, I'm not even joking, I feel like I'm literally trying to solve a fucking murder and we have all these fucking pictures pinned up on the damn board and you have all these different, points on where you need to go or, what links to what at this point, because that's what I feel like I'm running into this issue is I'm literally pinpointing from what would be considered as solutions to these issues that I'm experiencing. And, there we go. I just got kicked because I'm over here ranting off like a fucking madman because, I'm fucking frustrated. Like, god damn it. So, essentially at this point, I'm at a loss. I've also been reading, and this is what really does, you know, stress me the fuck out, is I'm also seeing a lot of um, negative feedback on Reddit about the encoder for AMD. It's just not apparently where it's supposed or should be at, as far as being able to be, as considered as competitive, or if not as reliable for streaming. And that's just kind of what sucks, essentially, at this point. But I'm almost at a loss here, because since I don't know, and this is because of what experience I have at this point, until, time moves forward and I do find a solution somehow to this issue, that it might not be essentially just AMD's encoder. But for a lot of the research that I've been doing so far, as far as, going back and forth, looking up the best solutions to my issue with streaming on, AMD's encoder, who knows? Who knows? It might be something as simple as a fucking driver. But at this point, I'm also running the latest Adrenaline update for my 6900 XT. I'm running the latest one. And which one in particular? I actually just got the email. Sometimes I don't really pay attention to, the driver name that came out. But I will tell you this: it was the most recent one from December 1st. If you're also wondering, or maybe even thinking that I maybe even rescale back to the previous driver, yes, I did. It's not making a difference, even going as far back in that. And I've also actually done some research to go back and look as far as even going further to previous drivers to see if maybe there is a driver somewhere that I could find that could probably fix this problem. Nope. It seems to come straight back to the same elephant in the room. It's the encoder for AMD. So, at this point, where I'm at, technically all I have as far as what I can do to basically work with what I have at this point. And if you're wondering, I'm not selling the fuck out of my out of AMD and Radeon. I'm not. That it's just the encoder issue at this point isn't something that should, just happen to be, the sole reason why I left, Radeon cards. That's, you don't do that. But to some people, that matters the most. Each to their own. It's your money, your decision. I'm not here to tell you or anybody else that you're wrong to do that. If that's what you feel is important or necessary, as far as, walking away from one brand to another, or whatever you feel works for you, hey, things work out for different people, and their decisions or choices that they make, either it works out or it doesn't. That's just how fucking life works. So for me, having this encoder issue with streaming is not enough for me to walk away from Radeon cards entirely. It should, that, in my opinion, for me personally, that should not be the intentional reason of you walking away from one piece of hardware because of one, technically, like, from this perspective, from, in my opinion, a minor issue. I know eventually that with time moving forward, AMD will have something that will fix this problem. Now, do I believe it's maybe even something that, comes back to FSR? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't read anything so far at this point that says anything about that or being a problem. So, who knows? It might be. It might happen to do something with some sort of issue here that's occurring from something with FSR, or rescaling issues from another setting in Adrenaline, which, if you're not familiar with, Radeon cards and you're running NVIDIA, and, that's You have NVIDIA control panel, and then you have Adrenaline software for Radeon. That's your software applications between, you have NVIDIA control panel for all your NVIDIA settings for your NVIDIA card, and then you have Adrenaline for your Radeon settings. Very easy and self-explanatory as far as, me putting that out there as simplest terms. So everything that I've done with my global settings for gaming, as far as from what I've done research on, is not causing a problem for me. It's not. That's not the culprit behind why I'm having, some of the blockiness issues that I'm experiencing or blurriness that you guys have seen currently with my streaming quality. It has nothing to do with that. It's the encoder from what I am seeing as far as what it's boiling down to. It is simply just the encoder. And I'm not sure if it has something to do with hardware-wise for just the card itself, or if it happens to be something with software. And I'm also not sure if I'm going to have to maybe look somewhere else as far as a streaming software. I think there was one called Vision that I can maybe try, but I'm not sure if that's going to do anything or benefit with Radeon at all. I'm not sure until I fuck around and find out. So until that happens, I'm going to try to continue to work with the settings that I have available to me with OBS and continue streaming. But I will be honest, it is a lot better than what it was before with how it started. With what I had running with the settings that I did with my first stream, again with my Stasis PvP Titan build that I was running with, or just trying out. So it's obviously a lot better, and that's what matters. But there's still, again, the elephant in the room with having this issue where I'm still having a lot of this blurriness. So I'm gonna keep fucking around and find out to see what I can do to make this better. Not just for myself, but for anybody, especially you guys that are still my subscribers. Gratefully and definitely still appreciate that for sure. My goal is to give anybody, whether you're a subscriber or not, the best overall quality possible that you guys can enjoy from your end, to the point where it feels like you're literally playing the game yourself, or in the same room with me, seeing the same quality from my perspective, in real time. That's the goal. That's the direction I'm trying to head with the card that I have. And again, I don't have a shitty card. The 6900 XT, especially the Power Color Red Devil Ultimate, is not a cheap card. Anybody that is familiar with Radeon cards and pricing for Radeon and AMD, it's fair. Radeon does have fair prices for what they're selling their cards for. That's not to diss anything on NVIDIA, because I'm not getting into that fucking pond at all with anybody with NVIDIA and, being fanboys or whatever. I don't care. Again, your money, your decision. You guys made the choice that you did. I made mine. I walked away from NVIDIA and Intel entirely, and I'm here straight just AMD. Everything in my computer is just AMD. Aside maybe even the Wi-Fi card, because that's obviously Intel. But that's aside the point here. I'm going to continue to work with what I have. I'm going to continue to make, adjustments. If I have to make an upgrade for something that I find out along the way, that could help the encoder that I have currently with AMD, or my card, fine, cool, whatever. But that also comes at a price, I'm sure, of course. Everything does at this point, especially when we're talking about computers. I will have an update if I do find something that is a solution for anybody that does have a Radeon card as well. Sorry, just had to fucking take a drink. I mean, it's fucking cotton mouth there. Alright, I apologize. I hope my mic does not pick up the ice crunching for a second. I do like to chew ice. I apologize. But I will have an update for what solution I find, what the research that I'm continuing to do to hopefully resolve this problem. Because like I said, I want to make sure that everybody that watches my stream has the same experience that I have as far as quality goes, you know, from my perspective, me actually looking at the game currently, and what you guys are seeing from your end too, that matches. That same experience and quality matches for you. That's what's important to me, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that and continue to work with what I have to hopefully find a solution, and from there we can, you know, obviously, hopefully in the long run not have to worry about this anymore when I continue to stream. So with that all being said, I'm going to go ahead and actually just go ahead and do some gameplay real quick, just to test a little bit more. Actually, just with that minimal amount of movement. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's driving me insane. But I guess it could be a lot worse. I guess it could be. You guys leave a comment if you're noticing, and it doesn't even offend me at all. You guys leave a comment and let me know from your end. Now, you have to also remember, when you're on a mobile device, sometimes from your perspective, when you're watching watching my stream from, or anybody's stream from your phone, there is a difference between watching it from your desktop on your computer versus what you're seeing on your phone. There's not going to be like essentially too much of a difference, but you're also going to notice there is a bit more of a difference between, you know, mobile platform versus something that's directly off of desktop. You're going to notice it. I've even noticed it with anything that I'm watching for streaming. Anything. So, yeah. I care more, well, shouldn't really say that. I care equally about what people are seeing from their phone and what they're seeing from their desktop. Both ends matter to me. I'm not preferring to go for one direction of a platform or over the other. My goal, my direction, my intentions, hands down, bottom line, everybody gets the same quality experience from my stream. Nothing more to say. It's just, again, it seems that it's the encoder that's giving me the middle finger. Essentially, it is that. From what I've been able to understand and research on, it's the encoder for AMD. Which, God only hopes, if it is just directly all fault on the encoder, I really hope AMD does something to fix it. Because if there isn't really a solution, and that's, well, okay. I'm going to rant a little bit longer about this. So, I'm going to go ahead and actually, you know what? I'm going to fuck around with this. I want you guys to see this so you understand exactly what I'm talking about, if I'm literally confusing the shit out of everybody that's looking at this or, you know, listening to me right now about this. So, right now, if I go under settings, okay? Here's the encoder settings. So, the encoder setting that I have currently under streaming, for the streaming settings, I am under AMD HWH.264. What that means, that encoder is directly focusing on full load on my GPU. There's also X64. X64 is basically a balanced encoder that does, you know, more on, well, I mean, I guess a balance is from what I read. I'm literally going off of what I've read. And that's all you really have to go with whenever you're getting into a deep dive potential solution that can be resolved by doing as much research and spending as much time as I have. Especially with this issue that I'm having as far as, you know, trying to achieve the best possible streaming quality for everybody. This is what I'm dealing with. And hopefully maybe this helps paint the picture a little bit more with everybody that's watching this, and just understand the level amount of stress that I'm dealing with right now. So currently, the encoder that I'm running, again, AMD HWH.264. That is directly the AMD encoder for the GPU, the Radeon card that I have, okay? Not to lose you guys. So, the rate control is at CBR, that's where it should be. Bit rate is at 8,000, okay? So, what I was playing around with yesterday, or last night, that was only like a couple hours ago, I was between. This is to kind of help you understand why I was going as high as I was for the bitrate. At upload speed that I have, that I'm seeing based on the speed test that I've ran with the new internet that I'm running with Spectrum, I'm at 576 megabytes of download, and I'm at 22.6 megabytes of upload. So your upload speed is going to always determine what bit rate you can hit. What is the maximum amount of bit rate can you run for streaming as far as the quality that you're trying to get overall? So currently, I am shooting at 1060 at 1080 at 60 FPS. That's the quality that I'm going for, that I'm running. Under video, it's, my base canvas and output resolution, that's where it's at. That's my standard settings that I'm running for my monitor. Monitors to be exact, but I'm only playing, I obviously only play one game on one monitor, which is the one in front of me. So the base canvas, resolution and output, that's where I'm at. 1080, common value FPS is at 60. Going back to the output for streaming, my keyframe interval is at 2, which is basically standard for the most part. When you're getting into streaming, and that's what matters, is you're kind of not over exceeding what is necessary or unnecessary. So keyframe intervals is at 2, preset quality is at high, and the profile is at high as well. The AMF FFM PEG options, what this basically is, this is like, it's a little confusing trying to explain it, but in simplest terms, this is an option that allows Radeon users to kind of mess more as far as with direct commands with what you are looking to maybe tweak around with other things for your performance overall as far as what you're getting from your stream quality. So I'm at max number of reference frames at 4, B frame reference enabled at 1, max consecutive B pictures at 1. The 1 technically stands for true value versus false. That's from what I've read or what I'm understanding is what that means. Over exceeding that doesn't really help. It only makes things worse. My B frame picture pattern is at 1. My enabled preset analysis is at 1, and then my high motion quality boost enabled is also at 1. And again, for lack of terms between false and true factor forms, that's what the 1 stands for. 1 being false, 1 being true, 0 being false. Which, putting nothing at all is just false. You're not really enabling anything, essentially, without putting that in with that command. So that's where I have it set. And that's what currently you guys are seeing from your end, that anybody that's watching right now, to help you kind of better understand what I have my settings at currently. After all the tweaking that I've done in OBS, this is what you guys are seeing on your end. And I'm experiencing the same picture and quality from your guys' end too, because I'm watching my own stream, and this is because of me trying to currently test and find a solution and result that I can get from making these changes. So to help you better understand that, I'm going to try again messing with a little bit more and see if I can maybe, I don't know, it's weird. I feel like even maxing out the bit rate that YouTube allows, which is 51,000 kilobytes, I can't hit that with my upload speed, unless my upload speed is like 53.2 or 6 megabyte upload. Then yeah, but even then, like, it's unnecessary. People are still able to achieve clear, crisp quality streaming without going that high and having internet speed of upload that high. Especially me hitting it at 1080. I'll try. I'll try seeing if I can do something with the output scale and hitting it at maybe 720, to see if that does anything different. I mean, hey, if I might do that. That's another thing I can try that I haven't tried. But I'm gonna leave this stream on my page, or on my channel, so that you guys see. You know, I'm actively trying to find the solution here, with the encoder that I have currently with AMD, and anybody that has a Radeon card. This is the encoder your guys are working with, especially for 6000 series. I have not bought a 7000 series card yet, and quite frankly, I don't know if me buying a 7000 series card is going to make a difference. I don't know until I fuck around and find out and spend the money to get it in this computer and see what happens. There's no way until I make that decision. Currently, I'm not getting a 7000 series card until they do something more than the 7900 XTX. Not that there's anything wrong with the XTX. The 7900 XTX is a fantastic card. Better, far better performance than what AMD has achieved in the past, especially with the 6000 series card. I'm waiting for technically the behemoth of all AMD cards, which I had hopes for the 7950 XT. I thought that was going to be announced, but it wasn't. Not yet. There might be something different. I think there is supposed to be. So I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting to get the very best Radeon card. That is literally what I'm waiting for. And that's not to say there's nothing good with the 79 XTX. I'm waiting for the card that they released that's far better than the 7900 XTX, because I know they will do something. I know they will. So I'm playing the game as much as I can here and waiting to see what they put out that does leap that overhead advantage. And if they don't, well, then there is a real big problem with that. As much faith that I have in AMD thus far has not disappointed me, unless we're considering the encoder problem that I'm having with this fuckery going on with my streaming quality and having to possibly even rescale down to 720 just to eliminate most of the pixelation shit that I'm experiencing that all you guys are seeing. I don't know. But I'm going to try it. So there's an update. I appreciate everybody that's been watching, that's been a subscriber. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. This is just basically a follow-up and an update with what I'm doing currently to get the best streaming quality possible. All that I can do and anybody can do is to continue working with whatever they have to potentially find the solution. And if it means to, hey, I gotta go buy this shit to fix this problem, fine, whatever, fine. But until I run into that, this is what I'm working with. So thank you guys again for checking me out real quick. Just wanted to give an update. I'm going to leave the stream on here for a little bit. And, you know, hey, once I hit the nail on the head and I have this problem taken care of, this video is gone. And from this point forward, hopefully, with the solution that I can possibly even have, hoping to God that it does, you guys are going to continue to see the best streaming quality that I can give you guys. Because anybody that watches, and you guys, my subscribers, more to say, most important, that I do make that happen for everybody. So, again, thank you guys for checking me out, checking in to see what's going on, what I'm streaming about at this point. That's kind of more of, again, follow-up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it a little bit, as far as me just literally venting the fuck out about this. And yeah, hopefully find a solution. So I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you so much for checking me out. Go ahead and keep checking my my channel. I have some stuff coming as far as more than just streaming. I'm working on a couple of things. It will take me a little bit, but I will have it out. I have a special video too that you guys are really going to enjoy. That does happen to regard something with my computer. So you guys stay tuned. Check it out. Again, I apologize for streaming quality you guys have been experiencing. So hopefully it gets better. So again, thank you guys for checking me out. I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you.